Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so excited to see so many people still in the last few days. Oh, it's getting excited. It's getting really, really exciting. Today is actually going to be the last day where we work purely into the past because tomorrow, December, is going to be a month where a little part of the month at least is still in the future. Ta-da! And we're going to talk all about that tomorrow and about how different it's going to be than just looking into the past. But today we'll tune into November. November, I think this year was one of my favorite months. Definitely one of the most expansive months for me. Which is nice because it's Scorpio season and it's always kind of intense. So let us start by just settling in and seeing whatever comes up for you in this month. Hmm. So I invite you to sit comfortably, placing your feet on the ground, taking a few deep breaths, starting to relax your body a little bit, and maybe your hands want to sink down onto your body wherever it feels good. Closing your eyes if that feels comfortable, or at least softening your gaze, not really looking at anything particular. And really bringing your awareness inside of you. And as always, I invite us to start with a few deep breaths. And with those first breaths, inviting and allowing anything that doesn't belong in this moment, anything that might be energy from the past or the future, of today, allowing it to release and allowing yourself to relax into yourself for a moment and checking in with yourself. How are you doing today? How's your body feeling right now? And just a reminder to relax the shoulders, to release the jaw or the neck, and maybe you even want to move a little bit, whatever feels right. I seem to have some tension today. And then let us slowly move our attention into the month of November, which is not so far away, but who knows, it might feel far away. Some people might remember every moment, and some people might still just have a kind of haze around what really, really happened. And just whatever it is, without any judgment, looking at what comes up for you. Paying attention to any sensations in the body. Maybe there's a feeling, emotion that accompanies your memories of November. And just really looking what memories come up in your mind. Hmm. What stories are there? What are the things that really, really want to be seen right now? And it's never about having a complete list of every little thing, but more of a general overall feeling. Hmm. And settling into it, allowing this to settle into you, and taking another deep breath there, being with the feeling of November. The story, the thought, the memory, the sensation. And then just starting to very gently wake yourself back up. Maybe wiggle your fingers, move your toes, allow your body to stretch wherever it wants to go right now. Maybe making a loud sound if that feels good. Ah, or maybe you even want to kind of rock your shoulders or give yourself a hug or feel like rolling my shoulders today. Whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to move into our next month. And I'm actually going to start, like we did yesterday, with the thick line with the line that goes through it all. Just because it was such an interesting sensation yesterday. And I want to share that my picture from yesterday changed a lot. And I'm actually going to share a little bit about that today, about like allowing yourself to change things. So it's not that we have to stick with the first impression that we have in a drawing. We can always change the things. This is one of the magical feats of Neurographica, or of what I call intuitive neuro art, where I focus a little bit more on the intuition. There's even more, like we can always trust if something needs to enter or something needs to change, then we allow that. Okay. I want to start with the line. You can start in whichever way feels right for you. But this is kind of for me. And then I'm going to actually share a little bit of a variation again. So why not? Okay. My November line. Kind of an interesting one. It wants to have some more space. It wants to take up some space. Just being with that for a moment, feeling into the overall direction, the overall movement of the month. For me, there was a lot happening. A lot of different things. And especially in my work, it was a very rich month for me. And for me, of course, my work also always has an impact on my personal experience. A lot of the processes I share are really coming from my own journey. And in November, that's definitely the case. And now, what I wanted to share today is starting with a shape. So I have I actually have two big shapes, and they fit like perfectly in here, apparently. One is a little bit, was actually the exact beginning of November. Am I using the wrong pen? Interesting. I'm using the pen that doesn't work for some reason. But I do have a better pen. I invite you to even pay attention to all these random things. No. They can bring insights. And then I have the other one that is really going outside the picture, currently for me. Oh, wow. It is much bigger than I thought. That's interesting. I thought it would go outside the picture where I didn't think it would be this massive. Okay. Trusting whatever your hand does is really one of the fun things that we can do. And now I want to share, we can, of course, also work with all the directions and the shape. So yesterday, I shared drawing lines from the bottom to top, top to bottom. Today, I want to share drawing lines from the shape to the top and the shape to the bottom, or from the bottom to the shape and the top to the shape. So it's not a line that goes through. It can, of course, but it touches the shape in between. So this is the important one I want to share. And here for me, there was a lot of going down because my big pieces of work were my ancestral work, my Ancestral Arts Festival, as well as my Ancestral Arts course, and how they already want to connect. And one of the things that is really, really important there for me is the grounding, is the rooting in, because this work is really about the roots for me. And of course, some connection also to the sky, to higher energies, to whatever I want to interpret this as. Oh, we can give this meaning, like I can give every piece of my drawing meaning. And then this one as well, Ancestral Arts Program. I'm actually going to go even more downwards because the top I can't even see, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect that. And then maybe there's some lines that even go like from the very top to the very bottom. So here I approach the drawing in a different way, focusing on how these shapes are connected to the different directions. And as I said, like for you, the top direction or the bottom direction might mean something completely different. So we can work with that in many different ways. And if you have taken classes with me, you probably know a few more ways. And then I still want to add some of the lines that kind of go through my drawing just to continue. So I have like these 5 lines that I'm still going to go through here, which is going to make a whole lot of stuff happening. And with it, really enjoying the process and breathing. And this is, of course, also just an offering and a idea. You don't have to follow anything of what I mean. Some of the things you may want to follow, otherwise you wouldn't have to be here. But whenever this works for you, whenever this makes sense for you. Wow, there's really so much happening. This one, I'm just gonna also allow it to go there. Okay, so today I have many lines in many, many directions. I'm gonna go into rounding, and we're gonna give this, I want to say maybe like around 8 minutes. We'll see how long it takes. And of course, you can take as long as you need for this. And with all of this, even with like drawing lines in different directions, you always want to kind of check in and see what it feels like, what comes up. As I said, the directions can mean so many different things. So you can even just try that and see what comes up for you. What does it mean for you? Whenever you connect to the top of the page, does it feel different from the bottom of the page? And especially when you connect specific shapes that, of course, also stand for specific things. As I said, like for me, these are like my 2 big work things. Courses and the event that I had. And just a reminder to breathe. And I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit so you can listen to your own stories, reminding you to stay connected with yourself and with everything that's going on inside you and really listening. Making this a practice of listening to your inner dialogue. So maybe it's even more voices than 2, who knows? Might be multiple voices, might be just one. I don't know. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. You can really relax into this. And as always, just a quick reminder, this doesn't have to be perfect. There is no specific way this needs to look. This is all just about making the connections and seeing whatever you need to see. Trusting your subconscious, even if weird things happen. So even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, then this is even more important to listen to that and to listen to that voice that wants to do something specific in the first place and asking, okay, so why am I wanting it this way? This work in general is really about asking the right questions and seeing how you can work with and find out more about yourself, about your inner patterns that might show up. So being open to even the quote unquote negative thoughts, because they can, of course, teach you a whole lot about your inner dialogue. Now, today I wanted to share about giving yourself the freedom to change the things at any moment. And it's funny, yesterday I realized, like, oh, I'm drawing all this stuff, but I totally forgot that, yeah, we moved as well. We live in a new house, and that's actually such an important thing in October. So I've really, really changed my October picture afterwards. And today I'm realizing the reason why November felt so significant as well was not really my work, but was also that I was alone at home for 10 days with my baby. And it was almost like an initiation, I felt, into deepening my relationship with her. It was me taking all the responsibility, doing everything, not having a break, and kind of finding my way through that. I'm going to say I have insane respect for people that raise a child by themselves now, because it was hard and I learned a lot. So I want to bring that into the drawing because it is just very, very significant for me that month. And of course, want to kind of acknowledge that for myself. And so I'm finding a place for it. And it's going to be here. Oh, and it's way bigger than I thought as well. And interestingly, it's kind of overlapping my ancestral work, which makes perfect sense for me because the reason why I'm focused on ancestral work so much, especially recently, is that I have a daughter and that I know that it is the intergenerational patterns and all of these things that I have the chance to work on now. And that will not just impact me, but will impact her as well. So this is your permission to even go back now into previous months and see if there's anything missing, and adding a piece that's missing at any point. You can have a completely finished drawing and still add something, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's also nice to just say that this is good enough. And as I said, it's not about like making sure that every single little detail is in there, but more about the overall important things. But sometimes when we're focused on one thing, then later we might realize, like, oh no, I totally didn't bring this in. And that's absolutely fine. Like, you can always add. So we're going to give that one more minute. And you can, of course, ask yourself now as well in your drawing, is there anything missing? Or maybe your drawing shows you that there might be another thing, another element in the circle, another something there. I almost want to put a little triangle into the circle as well because it was very intense. And I feel that it was kind of, yeah, as I said, like an initiation, it felt. Like inner and outer work. Or I could also add some celebration pieces, for example. Maybe I'll do that, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate a little bit. You can actually do this here. So I can also just add like a few of those and just add them like on half the shape, for example. That kind of feels good right now. So this for me in a way at the same time can show that there was a lot of energy moving and all the different little points that I'm creating here can of course also remind me that I got through difficult situations. It's funny because it's not just one, so it makes perfect sense that I have a few. So I hope that you find a way to make your drawing more meaningful for yourself in whichever way, whichever shape you want to add. You can, of course, also always add a heart or something like this. I'm a fan of hearts. I'm going to add a little heart in here too, just for the heck of it. Yeah. Hmm. And it's really all about acknowledging and whatever happened. And if there is difficult situations, it's always possible to add elements that help you see it in a different way, for example. I think, like, I don't remember which month it was, but someone commented that they used colors that made them feel better about the month. So, like, this is absolutely possible. You can add just a little circle or a little heart to acknowledge that you got through it. Something that brings in compassion, that brings in self love, that helps you, or even things that help you kind of release the things that you want to release. So, whatever it is for you. Okay, now let's jump into color. We're just gonna do a few minutes color because I'm already been talking for too long, it seems. So yesterday I added a lot of color, so I have some color to continue. We'll see where it wants to go. And this is of course also optional, just in case you work with the continuous um, continuous thing here. Then you can always kind of play with that, but it's absolutely no must. You can add new colors to every single drawing, also possible. There's something here that looks like a flame over my heart. Interesting. And with the colors, I always invite as well to see what is the story and the feeling and the sensation that comes up with it. And just like I, for example, I drew this and then I saw, oh, this looks like a flame to me. And you can like play with things like that. Or if you see a symbol or like something that comes up with a color, you can explore that in your drawing in whichever way feels good to you. And again, I'm going to give you permission to break some of the official Neurographica rules if that's necessary. So if you have symbols come up, you can work with them. feel like for a picture where we're looking back, this makes special sense. Because it's different from one where we look into the future. And as I said, we're going to explore that tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting. Hmm. And again, you can play with the color through the different shapes. See what just naturally becomes visible. See what wants to be shown. Like, for example, here I'm going to create contrast here intentionally to make my little firework, my little celebration, my celebratory shape stronger. So I can, of course, work with something like this. But here, I'm going to make it orange. Orange and turquoise is a quite good combination of contrast. And that's going to make this stand out. And then, of course, I can still always ask myself where the color wants to move, but I can also clearly define some places, some spaces. And I'm not going to do this everywhere in the entire drawing because then it wouldn't be this kind of drawing. Then I would just kind of color whatever I see. I allow the color to move a little bit. Nice. Yeah. Making this stronger here. Okay. We'll do another minute coloring. I'm going to color more after. Definitely going to color some more. Going to be nice. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to kind of find the spaces for some of the colors to go, and then I'm going to explore that deeper afterwards. So this is something that I like to do sometimes when I just quickly color. I just kind of find the pathway of the color, and then I go back into it and shade and make the nice things and kind of make it to where I like the aesthetic of it. At first is more of kind of just finding the space for it. Ah, interesting. And it does have like quite a dynamic in it. But okay, so now I'm going to think about what is the shape that I really want to express today. And I think I'm going to choose my little star down here. And I could even just emphasize half this thing. So here, outline where I did my half celebration circle, I can make this the shape and then kind of find where it closes, and actually here as it goes into the fat line, this is going to be the shape, kind of the fat line combined with this half celebration shape. So something like this is okay too. We always want to emphasize a closed shape. So I wouldn't just leave this open, but because it's connected to my other line, and I kind of like this extra shape here that's appearing, and I may actually go into that more with color to make it stand out stronger. That's going to be my emphasis. And then I can, of course, think about what that means to me and how that reflects my experience of the month. So I hope that this resonated. And as I said, we're going to look back into the past and into the future tomorrow. I'll start looking into the future, so that's going to be interesting. And then on Saturday, I hope that some of you can make it live because I'm very excited about that. We're going to do a separate drawing that integrates everything, where we really kind of sit with this experience of creating the whole year and then see, okay, what came up for us and where does it take us now. And then I'm also going to share about the program that I have been setting up and working on for the last weeks. That is actually a program to look into the future, into 2026, and it's going to start on December 24th, going into January 5th. So if you are free, you can join me, and especially if you feel like, oh, I'm going to miss this daily drawing, there's going to be more. So this just adds a very quick outlook, and I hope to see you tomorrow and on Saturday. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye, everyone.